Hello, and welcome to the Kwanzaa Empowerment 2020. My name is Melissa Oates, and I will be your host today, along with my co-host, Kalila Jett.
Yes, I'm excited about today and all the speakers we have lined up. It's going to be very, very empowering. And I'm so glad you asked me to be a part of this.
Everyone joining us today, we say
Habari Gani.
So for some of you who may not know what Habari Gani means, it simply means, what's the news? As Kalila mentioned, we have an amazing lineup of speakers on today, and they're all right from our home, Hickory, North Carolina. So I am looking forward to sharing all the great things that they have to share with you today in regards to the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. They are going to break down all of the 7 principles for you, and they all are coming from different perspectives. As we know, this year, 2020, has been very unpredictable, and it has come with some different dynamics for so many different people. During this time, I wanted to make sure that the vision that was given to me at the beginning of the year would still be fulfilled before the end of 2020, despite of all the things that had transpired. So I reached out to Kalila and gave her the idea that was in my heart, and just a way to give back to the community that brought us to where we are today. And I'm so glad that we're able to give back with the 7 principles of Kwanzaa on today, even if it's virtually.
2020 has had its highs and its lows. It's benefited some, and some it has really challenged. So we just have to take everything in stride, That's why these 7 principles need to be talked about more. And it's given us a reminder. When we learn these principles and apply it to our everyday lives, I think we will see the change in our community we need to see, that we're so desperately looking for.
So we are hopeful that today will bring some empowerment to your home. We are hopeful that you will get your families together and join in as we share the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Share with everybody, with your friends and family. And like my family, I'm hoping that you guys will be able to do this on an annual basis in celebration of Kwanzaa, as my family has been doing this for years. So we are excited to continue this celebration. Let's kick off this empowerment with a song sung by some of my former students from Hickory High School as they sing "Lift Every Voice and Sing."
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our day, let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you guys for that song. It's been so great seeing all of them together. They're all grown up now, and I'm just so happy to see some of them: Darian Abernathy, Alexis Hunt, Kirsten Abernathy. It's just so great to see them doing well and just giving back to the community on today. You know, Kalila, I love Kwanzaa and what it stands for. It's not necessarily religious, but yet a holiday set aside to celebrate the African American culture and its progressive victories through the years, celebrating family, community, the first fruits, and all the things that make what God created beautiful.
Yes, Melissa, I love Kwanzaa as well. Oh, it's just a time for us to stop and be proud of who we are. It also serves as a reminder for us to stay community minded and, just keep in the loop of things and be encouraging and be the change you want to see in your community.
You know, I remember truly understanding and embracing Kwanzaa way back during my second grade year at Southwest Elementary School. There was a paraprofessional by the name of Miss Fish that actually had introduced us to Kwanzaa and this holiday. I had never heard of it before. My family didn't know anything about it. And it was just very interesting to me. And so I had no other choice but to go home and tell my parents all about the holiday. And because it was something that I personally could own and take ownership, because it was something that celebrated something that was relative to me and my culture and who I was, I just ran with it. And I was able to ask my mom and tell her all the things, and she bought into it and understood the meaning behind it and saw the passion that I had for it, and it was history. So because of my second grade encounter with my paraprofessional, Ms. Fish, I have been able to celebrate Kwanzaa every year since. And actually, I continue the tradition with my own family, with my husband and my daughter, and we have embraced Kwanzaa ever since. We have our Kanara, which you can see in the background of me. My husband will start the first candle and it's lighting tonight. And we have our fruits, we have our stories, we have our words of encouragement, we have our gifts that we make for each other. And we are just ready and anticipating that every year, the day after Christmas. Let's go at this time and meet one of our first speakers, who is going to introduce and set up everything for us for the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. She is a phenomenal speaker. She is a graduate of Hickory High School, class of 1980, and also a graduate of Chapel Hill in North Carolina, and she's just phenomenal. She is well known in the community of Hickory, North Carolina, and she's going to set up everything for us today. Her name is Felicia Cobrith Setzer.
The history of Kwanzaa. In 1966, Dr. Karinga, chairman of the African American Studies Department and a professor at California State University, created Kwanzaa in response to the 1965 Watts riots. The riots, you ask? That happened after a 21-year-old black man was arrested. And the community just needed to express themselves. And riot was the way that they did. They fought for the end of mistreatment by the police. They fought for the end of discrimination in housing, employment, and in school systems. Does that sound familiar? We're still fighting for those same things. In response to that riot, Dr. Karinga created Kwanzaa. It was modeled on the traditions of the African Harvest Festival. Kwanzaa in Swahili means first fruits. It is a cultural celebration, not religious, but does have a spiritual quality. It is celebrated from December 26th through January 1st. There are 7 principles of Kwanzaa: unity, self-determination, collective work, purpose, creativity, and faith. There are 7 candles that represent Kwanzaa. They are red, black, and green. The red represents the struggle. The green represents our land and hope, and the black represents our African descent. In Kwanzaa, it is encouraged that you make homemade gifts as to not commercialize the celebration. Finally, the celebration is that of community, family, and culture, for us to reconnect to our African roots and heritage. So as we think of the principles of Kwanzaa, let us think of the unsung heroes that came before us. The late Billy Sudreth, who was instrumental in our first Kwanzaa celebrations in Hickory. He was instrumental in setting those Kwanzaa celebrations up, getting speakers, getting performers, the food. He was very instrumental in bringing that history to us. Michelle Dula, who worked for the rec department, she helped to keep our community strong and active, and she was always available for programming for our community. The late Webster E. Lido and the late Zian Hall, as they represented our community with local government, they fought to create big things in our community. So you see the community center, you see the library, you see those things, you see the field. They fought for those things. The late Josephine Luck, as she worked in the counseling department of Hickory High School, and she helped to change the trajectory of the class of 1980's vision, as we were then realized as the class with the largest number of blacks to attend college. Currently, the class of 1980 has a nonprofit foundation in which we, and I am a member of that class, provide scholarships to the community for people to attend college. We've been doing that for 35 years. And now recently, we lost a giant in our community, and it was the late Mr. Ted Ross. To me, he was the great equalizer because he understood what education could do for our community. Mr. Ross worked for the Faith Center, and he worked in the after-school program. He touched many lives and changed them. He went over and above to ensure that you all, many of you, were taken on field trips and shown different things. He gave you opportunities and exposure. And that, to me, is the most important thing that you can do. We salute these people as we also salute our heroes presently. As we look at David Williams, who represents us now with local government and the things that he plans to do for the community. We look at Andrea Nixon and Tata as they work for the they work for the rec department, but they've been instrumental in helping students who are doing virtual learning. They didn't have to do that. That's not their jobs, but they stepped up and did that. And we're excited about that. We have Tony Abernathy, who is a native of this community, and she came back and she's helping with us and bringing political things to us and helping us to understand things that are happening and bringing the Science Center and things of that nature. You have the Ridgeview Reunion Committee, as they strive and have reunions every other year. They remember the past, but they also empower youth in the present, as they also provide scholarships and things of that nature. We have the NAACP, as it continues to strive to ensure that we have a seat at the table. Continuously, their mission is to ensure voter rights, to have sustainability economically, educationally, and to provide for the public health and for safety. They are big and giants in that field. We have the Divine Nine. We have Alpha Kappa Alpha. We have Delta Sigma Theta. We have Kappa Alpha Psi. We have Omega Psi Phi. And we have Zeta Phi Beta. Those are the representatives of the Divine Nine here locally, who also help to mentor and do community service. These are the people who we look for in our community to ensure that we have representation, and that we are ready to embrace and to do the things that are needed. It is important that we embrace the spirit of Kwanzaa as we acknowledge our African culture and heritage and work to empower and to improve our community at large. Why is the spirit of Kwanzaa important to the youth today? It's important for representation, for you to understand that all of these sheroes and heroes that I mentioned, those people represent you and that they look for you to do great things. Our expectation of you is that you do great things. You will live up or down to our expectation, and that is our expectation. We expect for you to succeed, and we're here to help you. That's what Kwanzaa is about. It's about the collective energies of the communities coming together to ensure the community continues to exist and to thrive. We want to ensure you understand the Black experience beyond slavery. Black people came here in the 1600s, but prior to that, understand world history, Mesopotamia, the Nile River, things of that nature. We were instrumental in developing governments, developing mathematics. We did more things than just become slaves here in the New World. It's important for you to know our culture and the greatness of our African continent and its history. Kwanzaa is big. It's bigger than you and I. It's a spirit. It's a celebration. It is you. It is Blackness, and it is amazing. Thank you. And listen to these speakers who are coming, because they too are heroes and sheroes of this community, and they bring you a good word. I am Felicia Colbert-Setzer, and I say to you, Happy Kwanzaa.
You know, I spoke with Felicia and found out some amazing things about her and her educational journey. To be part of a class that historically produced so many African-American scholars for the city of Hickory and at Hickory High School is amazing. And to still be intact with the community is just so great. To start our first principal of Kwanzaa, we have Chad Baumgartner, a Hickory native, a close person to my family, my cousin, and also my husband's line brother of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated of the Hickory Alumni Chapter. Let's hear from Chad at this time.
Hey everyone, I am so honored and blessed to be able to talk about, or discuss rather, the first principle of Kwanzaa, which is Umoja. And Umoja means unity. Now, why is Umoja so important? Because the climate that we're living in today, more now than ever, we need Umoja, or unity. See, in order to have Umoja, that means that we have to, once again, put away our petty thoughts and feelings, and whether it be personal, professional, or political, and come together as a people and say, what's the best thing for all of us? What is it going to take for all of us to be successful, to be happy, and to thrive? See, that takes a lot to do, and we've done it in the past, but we've gotten away from it. So this holiday season, I want us to reflect more on Umoja. Let's reflect more on unity and what it's going to take to get back to being unified, being together. One of the things it's going to take is selflessness. And see, that shows the maturity of us as a people when we're able, again, to put aside differences and come together and say, what's best for our family? What's best for our neighborhood, our community? What's best for all of us? Because what good is it for one or two or few of us to have something or to be something, and the rest of us not have that same access or that same success? The other thing with Umoja is it represents, or it gives strength and power to us all. When we come together in a unified front on what it is we want and how we want it, It gives us more authority and more power to take back what was lost. What is it going to take for our communities to be better, for our neighborhoods to be better? Let's come together and put together a plan that's going to make us all successful and make all of us happy and allow all of us to thrive. We can't do it individually. We've got to come together and be selfless in order to make that happen. Because only when we do that do we create strength and power. See, when you give up power, you gain even more, because now you have more people coming together as a collective to say, this is who we are, this is what we want. This is the foundation of umoja, unity. Unity is needed more than ever. And so again, I just ask that over the holiday season, when you're with your family and your friends, that you think about and reflect upon and even discuss with your family, umoja. How do we get it back? Where do we start? Because believe it or not, we're stronger together than we ever were apart. It's no different than animals in the wild. You never see them attack a group of animals. They always wait for one to stray, and that's the one that gets attacked. We can be better as a people if we work together, if we continue or start back loving one another. No one's perfect. No one has been, no one ever will be. But together, we can be as close to perfect as we ever were by ourselves. So again, the first principle of Kwanzaa is umoja, unity. Let's go into the new year with a new mindset of unity. Less judgment, more love, more unity. Umoja. Thank you so much, guys. Merry Christmas and Happy Kwanzaa.
Thank you, Chad, for sharing the first principle of Kwanzaa and reminding us of the importance of unity. Now, let's take a moment to look at some quick facts about Kwanzaa. Now we will have our second principle, Kujichagulia, by Hickory native motivational speaker and life coach Ivan Jones.
Hello, it's Ivan Jones, Hickory High class of 2001. My word is Kujichagulia. It means self-determination. I know a lot about this word. In 2002, I had flunked out of college. I was back home in Hickory living with my mom, working a dead-end job in Valley Hills Mall. And the thing about this is I let me down. You know, I had these big dreams, and here I was, sent home from college for performing below standard. Like I said, I was extremely frustrated and disappointed with myself at the time, but I made the decision that I would go back to school, that I would go back to school, and when I went back, I would finish. No matter what, I wouldn't leave that place again without a bachelor's degree, and I did that. Fast forward today, of course I'm a college graduate. I've been married for 13 plus years. I'm the father of 3 beautiful scholars, and I'm also I've advanced in my career. I'm the facility manager of not 1 but 2 recreation facilities, and I say that not to brag. I say that because just to let you know that what self-determination can do. Like I said, I had flunked out. I was working in the mall. There was no signs that I would be where I am today. But like I said, I made a commitment that I was going to go back, and no matter what happened, I was going to take it on, and I was going to leave that place with a degree. And I did that. And here's 3 things that I, as a life coach, came up that I think you can do if you're not already doing to stay determined. 1, I think you should just always, if there's a pulse, there's a purpose. Every day you hit that ground, you should look for ways to contribute to society. because like I said, you are here for a reason. It's not just if your purpose is tied to your job, good, but maybe it's not, but you're here for a reason. So, work your job, and if there's still a desire, a hunger to do more than likely there is something you should be doing. So make time for that too. Secondly, know that you're important. You're loved by God. You're loved, hopefully, by family and by community. You are loved. You're important. Your past is just that. It's your past, and you may have to deal with some consequences. You have to handle some. You may have to. They may cause some challenges from time to time, but you matter. You matter. We need you. We need you now more than ever. Also, the third thing is joy. You deserve it. You deserve joy. So don't settle for less. Don't settle for less. To be happy, something got to be happening. But joy, that's yours. I need you to own it and protect it. Happy Kwanzaa, everyone.
Thank you, Ivan, for sharing those words of encouragement and the second principle of Kwanzaa, Kuji Chakalia. Now let's take a moment to look at some more fun facts about Kwanzaa. Now, for the third principle, we have a well-known member of the Hickory community, a person who is a singer and an actress. I've seen her myself on the stage of the Hickory Community Theater, and she is quite the actress, I must say. I've also heard that her cakes are amazing. She is in the educational field currently, and at this time, we have Miss Renetta Hamrick, who's going to share with us the third principle, Ujima.
The third principle of Kwanzaa, Ujima, collective work and responsibility. The building and maintaining of our community, any problems should be solved together within the community. As I always say, the village works. Working together to our greater to relieve pressures of churches, government, families, for our betterment. Being responsible of our community will show others that no one expects a free ride for anything. Collectively, our community should be able to financially thrive independently and be responsible for anything arising against our success. What are examples of Ujima at work? The principle of Ujima is to teach families to recognize their own well-being, to glean from their family's lineage, plus community and their lives of each family member, as well as the community, are bound together. Feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, helping those who are struggling, especially in the times like this. Ujima is essential and our duty to be actively together and committed to matters of common interest. In ending, Ujima is the principle of a stronger collective union for our future. We must be conscious and committed people to guide our future with our minds, our hands, remembering plus sharing the hardships and reaping the harvest of it together. Ujima, the third principle of Kwanzaa.
Thank you, Ms. Renetta, for reminding us about the power of the village through the principle of Ujima, the third principle. Now at this time, let's take a moment with Ms. Tony as she shares some tips about time management.
Hi, my name is Tony McCoy. I am a virtual assistant and owner of Real McCoy Virtual Solutions. I help business owners reclaim their time by taking on their administrative tasks so that they can focus on their zone of genius. I'm here to talk to you today about time management and organization. I have 4 methods that you can use to reclaim your time and maximize the hours that you have in a day. The first method that we're going to talk about is time blocking. Time blocking means you're going to make an appointment with yourself to do the things that you need to do. Take your to-do list, put them on your calendar, and keep your appointment with yourself. The second method is batching. Batching tasks simply means that you're going to take and group similar tasks together. For instance, when you're cleaning the house, if you need to dust everything at one time. Bathrooms, clean all the bathrooms at one time. So instead of going from room to room, cleaning the bathroom, the bedroom, the living room, the kitchen, going to another bedroom, another bathroom, just do all of the bathrooms at one time. Make all of the beds at one time. Do all of the dusting at one time. Doing repetitive tasks over and over in the same time block will actually help you do them more efficiently, and you'll actually do a better job at those tasks. The third method is called the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique puts you on the clock to get your work done. Set a timer for 25 minutes. In those 25 minutes, go hard at whatever you're doing for 25 minutes. When the 25 minutes is up, you're going to take a 5-minute break. Then you're going to go right back into doing your work for another 25 minutes. You're going to do 4 cycles of the 25 minutes and a 5-minute break back to back. After you've completed 4 cycles of that method, then you can take a 15 to 20 minute break. You can go to lunch. You can take an hour break. Then when you're ready to get back to work, start over again, set your timer for 25 minutes and get right back to it. The fourth method is probably my favorite. And this one affects us all. It involves our phones. The fourth method to help you manage your time is to turn your social media and email notifications off. When you are sitting down to focus on tasks that you need to do, simply go into your notifications and you can pause them for 2, 4 hours, 30 minutes, whatever you need to get your work done. You can pause your notifications and they will automatically turn back on after that time period. That way, you're not responding to every ding, buzz, chirp, whatever your notifications sound like. It takes about 15 to 18 minutes to refocus after you picked up your phone and start scrolling through social media, looking at emails, anything. It takes 15 to 18 minutes to refocus. Imagine how many times per day you do that. You've lost a lot of time throughout your day. So we've talked about 4 methods to help you better organize your day and better manage your time. I hope those tips help. If you have any questions about any of the things that we talked about, you can send me an email, tony@realmccoyvs.com. I hope that you all have a safe and happy Kwanzaa.
Those were some great tips on how we can utilize our time better, and also a go-to person for all those busy entrepreneurs out there who need someone to help kind of arrange your schedules and do some of those things that are just overwhelming your day. You have a virtual assistant that you can definitely reach out to. And so make sure that you reach out to her after this program if you need that correspondence. Take a look at these Kwanzaa facts. Who do we have next?
So next we have Principle 4, Ujamaa. Y'all listen to me pronouncing my Swahili. I'm working on it. But let us hear from Miss Karen Stinson. She is also a native of Hickory who currently resides in Florida. However, that does not stop her connection to the community. She still has a heart for the community that helped raise us. Let's hear from Karen.
Hi, my name is Karen, and as we celebrate Kwanzaa and the 7 principles, I'm going to speak to you about the principle Ujamaa, which means economics. We need to get back to where we're self-sustaining in our communities. And let's start with number 1, is educating ourselves on what it takes to sustain in our own communities, which is number 1 is we have to be taught economics and entrepreneurship. And the way we do that is we start with our young people and teaching them how to give back, and teaching them how to become entrepreneurs. One of the biggest things I see now is we need to go back to where we are building and cultivating our own crops, eating from the ground up. Our communities have gotten away from that. And that's one of the ways that we can sustain grocery stores, pharmacies, small shops in our own communities, is that we buy and spend in our own communities. And a way to do that is ownership. We have to have ownership in our own communities, not only giving back through our dollars, but giving back through our time and effort. One of the biggest things that we don't do is we don't preserve our own communities. As you can see nationwide, our communities are a dying breed, because people have decided that once they finish their education, they move on to other communities, and our communities are not able to sustain. We need to decide on what's important to us. When we decide that we're going to build our own communities and sustain them, that means that we are rich. And economics is so vital to sustaining our communities. Our communities need growth. We need to own our own businesses. We need to have our own lawyers, doctors, clinics within our own community. We need to get back to where our communities are sustained through hard work, and hard work pays off. Not only does our dollars pay off, but hard work does, and teaching. Each one teach one. We have to remember to always give back in our communities so that they can continue to be sustainable or self-sustainable. The most important thing I think today is people do not have a pride in their community. And that is a tough thing when we don't have what our basic needs are within our own communities. We tend to spend our dollars outside of the community and complain about not having what we need in our communities. But if we take those dollars and put them back in our communities through education, educating each other on what it takes to sustain our communities, we will become self-sustainable. Again, was speaking to you on the principle Ujamaa. Happy Kwanzaa to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, for that concern and charge to the community to build the economics and awareness in the community. So ever since I can remember, I always wanted to be a teacher and work with money. So I guess my path sort of merged those two desires, and I was able to teach marketing, entrepreneurship, and finance. And in fact, Kalila, I had the opportunity to teach your oldest daughter marketing at Hickory High School as well.
Yes, you did. And I'm telling you, I believe with marketing and a business as an elective, I feel like it would benefit the children. I've seen it firsthand. I mean, it helps the children develop an entrepreneurial mindset, and they're gonna need that community support to get that business off the ground. So it's definitely needed.
Did you know that Kalila and I collaborated during my time of teaching in Hickory? Timing was perfect, I guess you can say. As founder and advisor of the African American Cultural Club, I wanted to find a way to connect the community and get them inside of the school. Kalila was serving as the youth president of the Hickory NAACP chapter and was one of the first partners to connect with me, as she had been looking for someone to connect with in the school. She and I advised and coached a step team of about 9 amazing girls. Immediately following the STEP team, other students immediately started gravitating to the African American Club. They wanted to do spoken word, they wanted to do different things like that, and they actually got down and set up a drawing board. And they shared ideas of bringing more community members in. And that's when the student summits were birthed. We hit every topic you can imagine to engage and motivate and encourage students with focus on the minority demographics. Community members near and far just came in and really adopted the students and really gave their time. Classes taught in CTE continued to expand those conversations, to code switch, and to build teamwork. And I want to say a special thank you to Kalila for always being available for the community, and to partners such as the Hickory Public Schools, the Hickory Greek organizations, especially my sisters, Nu Alpha Zeta, the Hickory Police Department, Chris Johnson with YPOI, and other community giants. They are still doing great, amazing things to this day. Stay inside the schools. The students love the support. For those of you that know me, know that the road does not stop my availability to help remotely. So those of you in Hickory, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. And if I can do anything virtually or remotely, do not hesitate to reach out.
Powerful, connected. I am my brother's keeper. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I've noticed on social media that you've been busy in the kitchen lately, and so doing all the things to get some tips and different ideas for some healthy recipes to the community. So I am excited for what you have for us today. I can't wait for you to share with us some healthy tips or a healthy recipe that you have. So what do you have for us today?
Oh yeah, I can't wait to show you what I've been cooking in the kitchen. Get ready. Hello everybody. Happy Kwanzaa 2020. I am pleased to welcome you to my kitchen. Over the last year, I had made a decision to not eat meats anymore. Now, you know that was a huge challenge, but I've been doing it on and off for a while, ever since my breast cancer journey, which is why I was encouraged to change my diet myself. So the doctors are not going to tell you to change your diet because they know your diet can heal you. So today I'm going to share with you the things I've learned and that helped me use healing properties of food instead of medicine. So first I want to share that today I'm going to make pinto beans and give you tips and ideas on how to cook them 3 ways. So that way you can have a variety and you won't even know you're eating pintos 3 times in that week. So this is what I did. You know, at first it was very challenging to feel like I was going to be satisfied with not having meat, because one thing I do experience is sometimes, you know, being a vegetarian, it can make you really hungry. Now, I can't really state that I'm a 100% vegetarian because I do have my cravings and I do sometimes eat meat, but I do not eat them more than once or twice a month. But during the holidays, it might be a couple of more extra days than that. But anyway, getting to the pintos, I wanted to just share with you guys my journey and how I was able to incorporate more beans, vegetables, fruits, you know, in my diet and take out the meat. So today, what I've learned is that if you soak your beans overnight, you get the best results. However, today, I forgot to put my beans out last night, so I'm going to quick soak them in the pot. Now that works just as well. However, I feel like overnight gives you the best results. So next I will put on my gloves and show you all the goodies and yummy goodness I put into my beans. First up, we have these beautiful peppers. Y'all see that beautiful goodness? Red, yellow, and green peppers is what I love to put in my pintos. So I had to go grab my knife. What I normally do is just chop them up, dice them up, because I don't want big chunky pieces of pepper. I want it to season the food. I'm not eating peppers. I'm just using the peppers to season the food. So I give it a good, you know, slice and dice. The next thing is these yummy, which I already had pre-cut. Matter of fact, every week I pre-cut my vegetables, my peppers, my onions. So that way, you know, that takes away the prep time during the week when you're trying to, you know, make a meal that's really good, really fast. Have this stuff already prepped up. You will love it. It will make your life so much easier. Especially when you're trying to change your diet. It's already a challenge figuring out what you're going to eat, but now you want to figure out how you're going to eat healthy. That can be discouraging, because that was my challenge for many years. My Uncle Jason used to encourage me years. For years, he's tried to encourage me to go vegetarian, now vegan. And I just thought that was the craziest thing, because I just kept figuring out in my mind, how am I going to change my diet? I got to have meat. It's a misconception, guys. I promise you will not miss the meat. So there's my yummy onions in there. And now for my garlic. I love garlic cloves. About 3 to 4 garlic cloves will do. Now, garlic has healing power in it too. And so does red, green peppers, onions, all that has healing power, has healing properties. God made all this food to address any issues that are going on in our bodies. And I have been studying those things so I could inform myself and share with others as I come in contact. So this was a perfect opportunity for me to share my big life change after my big life journey of breast cancer, which is the main reason I decided to change my diet. I wanted to be proactive so it won't come back. Now that Dr. Sebi and other doctors have found that cancer cannot live in an alkaline body. So what do? I go to the health food store every week, or however many times I need to go, and get my weekly stash of water, alkaline water, and turmeric. Turmeric is what I've been told is a big healer, and keeps your body alkaline. So I put some dashes of that in there. I also use a turmeric paste Y'all see that? And of course, we cannot have beans without the garlic powder. I get all my seasonings from Sam's, so that way they last me a long time. Oh, and I've just been introduced to this. After binge watching lots of cooking shows, I never knew anything about ground coriander. So now it brings out this really good flavor in your beans. You gotta try it. Also, I sprinkle with a little ground cumin. Try that too. Now, I don't measure anything. I just stop when my ancestors tell me to stop. So, yes, I got that from Miss Tabitha Brown. But that's what I was feeling already in my spirit. She just said it before me. Anyway, you just have to find, trial and error. And if it's nasty, don't give up. Try again. So, what I use is just a simple vegetable broth, which brings more flavor. You can use vegetable, chicken, whatever. But I just pour it up here in my crock pot. Oh, let me tell y'all something. If you do not know about this season right here, Sazon, you need to know about this season right here. You can put it on anything and it will bring the flavor out. I can tell the difference when I don't use it.
No.
Oh Lord, here come my
Mommy,
loud, wild children.
I got the mail from the mailman.
Oh, Kendallin, come on, tell the people how you love my beans.
I love them. They're amazing, delicious, outstandingly great.
Okay, thank you. Yes, before she didn't like beans, wouldn't eat them. So I got her to taste them one time, and she's been in love ever since. And every time she smells them cooking in the morning, she'll say, Mommy, you're making your famous beans. And she will eat them plain. So yes, they are kid friendly, okay? You gotta change your kids' diet too. They need to be healthy too. So once I let my beans quick soak, I will add them to my crock pot. And that is how I make my delicious baked beans. Now, 3 different ways you can make them is, first way, you can just eat them plain. Just enjoy the deliciousness flavor of the onions and the peppers all meshed up into those beans. Day 1. Day 2, you can make a veggie bowl. I usually do a bowl of quinoa and I add the pintos on top with the lettuce and tomato and maybe cheese and avocado with whatever. And it's so delicious. The next thing is the third, plain veggie bowl. Third day, I use my food processor, put all the leftover beans in it, and make bean burgers. Yes, and those are delicious. I use the breadcrumbs and all that, put it together. I got me a bean burger. So those are my 3 ways to make beans, and I think that's it. You guys have a happy Kwanzaa. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen. I have been real and live and direct with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a good day.
Now, I will be trying some of that this weekend. So staying healthy is so important in the community for sure. We have to stay and strive to do everything with purpose, and that includes our health and what we eat. Speaking of purpose, we have the 5th principle of NETS, NIA. My cousin, Tawan Williams, a native of Hickory and elementary school educator, is going to talk about purpose and its meaning in regards to Kwanzaa.
Hello, my name is Tawan Williams and I am from Hickory, North Carolina. The Kwanzaa principle that I will speak of today is NIA. NIA is the building and development of our community. to restore our people to their greatest potential. One way to do that is to know our purpose. Knowing our purpose includes knowing our talents, strengths, and gifts. We should act on those. Those are what make us successful. As we grow and learn, we're able to give back to our community. Our community that is a foundation that helped us become who we are. The leaders who taught us. We had good influences and bad influences, and we had the opportunity to make choices that will be the best for us and others. One big influence in my life was my mother. She was determined to do the right thing and show her children the best life possible. She always thought on a positive note. She taught us to work hard, and even though it's hard, we can do it. So when teachers would ask me in school to write about our heroes, I always chose my mother, while others wrote about Michael Jordan or Martin Luther King. She was the biggest influence in my life. As youth, we have to make the best decisions, and we can use those decisions to benefit us and give back to our communities. As we learn and grow, we learn that we need each other. We learn that we can't do everything on our own. We learn to support each other. We learn ways to build finances to help support our community. So NIA is a way to reflect on yourself. Notice your talents and gifts to give back to the community. Support each other. Lift each other up. So as youth, your job is to find out, what is it that I'm interested in? What is it that I can do? What is it that I'm the best at? And how can I help others to strengthen our community?
It is so easy to get distracted nowadays and lose focus of your purpose. And I appreciate her sharing those words with us so we can stay reminded of our daily goals and keep priorities of what matters the most. I have so many things that I want to do and put out there, get out there, but I have to remember, if I stick to my purpose, it will take me there to everything that I want to accomplish. So thank you for that reminder.
We definitely have to stay purpose driven, and I'm so glad that Kwanzaa reminds us of that. And that with that being said, knowing that your purpose helps to spark creativity in us all is a big deal. Even for the one that feels that there is no creative bone in their body, know that we are all created with a special ability to give something purposeful and creative back to the community. Let's hear from Chen Hester, a native of Hickory, educator and entrepreneur, as she shares a moment of encouragement with the sixth principle of Kwanzaa, Kuumba, creativity.
Hello, I'm Chandra Hester. I'm a graphic designer, teacher, and entrepreneur, and I would like to share with you how I celebrate Kwanzaa. On the sixth day of Kwanzaa, we light the green candle in celebration of Kuumba. Kuumba means creativity. We all have a little bit of creativity inside of us. God has blessed us with all different talents that we can tap into and figure out ways to either make money or to better our community. Me personally, I celebrate Kwanzaa every single day because I have to become creative with my lessons that I give to my students each and every day. And I also have to come up with new designs for my clients. They're always challenging me to be creative than the last one. I can't sell the same design twice, so I always have to find another way or another creative design. But it is most important that we give back to our community in celebration of Kwanzaa. We have to leave the world a better place. We can do things like plant community gardens for everyone to, get involved in, but also produce fresh fruits for our community. We can also gentrify. That's not the word. We can also clean up our community by turning abandoned buildings into safe havens, or maybe even just cleaning up abandoned parks. How do you celebrate Kwanzaa? Happy Kwanzaa!
Thank you, Chan, for reminding us with the sixth principle of Kwanzaa, Kuumba, to stay creative so that everything that we touch becomes a little bit more beautiful in the community. And here is one last quick fact about Kwanzaa. Kalila, we can talk about all of the principles 1 through 6 and get motivated, but if we don't put it into action and have the faith that it takes to be done, we are just simply talking. Although Kwanzaa is not necessarily a religious-based celebration or observation, we know that faith is the centerpiece and the backbone of the Black community. When speaking spiritually, on a standpoint, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So it's a sense of hope in the things that we are looking for to manifest. And in the same for faith in Kwanzaa, we must have faith in ourselves and in the community that things mentioned today can be done. From all the teachers that helped raise and grow me at Southwest Elementary, Grandview Middle, Hickory High School, professors at Catawba Valley Community College, professors at Lenoir University, the Hickory community believed in me, and that gave me motivation to believe in myself. With that being said, we're going to have our last principle, Imani, given to us by a community-driven minister and youth advocate, Reverend Anisha Wright.
Hey everyone, my name is Anisha Wright, Reverend Wright, Reverend Red, Miss Wright. I wear several hats. Today I'm here to speak with you about the seventh principle of Kwanzaa, which is Imani. Imani is, it means faith. And I feel like Imani is, I know we have Christian faith, we have Muslim faith, and they're both monotheistic beliefs. But when I think about Imani and realizing that the word itself is African, I think about the faith in oneself, the faith that a person has in themselves, as well as their family, their culture, their community. I think about people who always want to serve their community in one capacity or another. People who always come back and try to make a difference. This year, 2020, has really strengthened my Imani. COVID-19, when you wake up every day, you don't know what's going to happen, as well as the situation with George Floyd and the situation with Breonna Taylor. Not to mention our ancestors, 400 years of slavery. Do you know the amount of faith they possessed, the Imani they possessed to manage 400 years? I mean, that 400 years, it wasn't a virus like Corona, but it was still a virus to me, one that's still prevalent today. So I think Imani is so very, very, very important. I mean, Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. And so I think it's important that we all, especially young people, learn our history. Learn our history. Our history didn't begin with slavery. Our history began in Africa, okay? So learn your history. Learn about yourself. Learn who you are. Learn to appreciate yourself, because this world has a way of turning you into who it wants you to be. It took me a long time to learn that lesson, and I'm still dealing with the effects of, believe it or not, colonialism and all those things that happened while we were still in Africa. People want to force their ways on you, their beliefs on you. They don't want you to be who you are. I mean, it's just like with your hair. They would rather you have straight hair, because to them being natural sounds crazy. And to me, that sounds crazy. Being natural is the most natural thing one could do, don't you think? So again, I think we should continue to focus on believing in ourselves, believing in what we're capable of academically, for those who are business entrepreneurs, for those who, just being parents, just everyday people. Whatever you do, have faith in yourself, do your best and be your best, and help your brothers and sisters out. I mean, it's not about a race. It's not about who's going to get there first. It's about us getting there, period. I help you, you help me. Let's have some faith in one another. Also, faith in our community. I mean, I know things have changed a lot since we were younger, and things are continuing to change. But we can keep the faith that we can keep our community alive and vibrant. When this whole COVID mess is over, we can get back to having some good times, because if nothing else, this year has shown us what it's like not to be able to be with family and friends and loved ones the way we would like to be. I don't think we'll continue to take granted of all the different things, all the different resources that we have in our community. I think we'll come together and learn how to enjoy them together. So I hope you enjoy your Kwanzaa this year. I've decided to do my holiday theme African, as I pretty much do everything else. But again, have faith in yourself. Happy Kwanzaa. Bye.
Thank you, Reverend Wright, for reminding us of the importance of believing in ourselves, that we can do whatever we put our minds to help the community and allow it to thrive. If you do have access or a point of contact that you can reach back into the community, if you have relocated, if you can reach back into the community that helped bring you up, I challenge you and charge you to do whatever you can, especially even now, even during the pandemic, whatever you can do virtually or whatever you can do remotely to help or give back to the community. I really challenge you to utilize this time to the best of just your ability.
Yes, we hope you take the time to embrace these principles and share them with your families. And don't just stop at the 7th day. Keep going throughout the year. This can be done, guys. Change can happen with applying these principles.
We have truly enjoyed this time with you all, and we just want to say thank you to all of our speakers and all of our viewers today.
All right, guys, be sure to take pictures with your families and post them on social media saying, and use the hashtag Happy Kwanzaa 2020.
We thank you for watching the Kwanzaa Empowerment 2020. Be safe.
Stay healthy.
And happy Kwanzaa.